watching some ridiculousness on the TV. Just trying to sit here and see if anybody wants to come on and chat. So, hello, if you're coming in. I'm BF Shivers, real name Bradley. I'm a children's horror author, indie horror author. I like to write children's horror, similar to Goosebumps, my series called Tales from the Mind of BF Shivers. And I'm just sitting here. So, come hang out with me. Talk, chat, whatever. I'd love to have you guys on the road to 500 subscribers. So, see how many people we can get to come in here and talk to us. Got my LED lights on my bed on, so it's not as dark as well as the TV, so it shouldn't be too dark in here. So if you come in, you should be able to see my ugly mug. Golly, dude just leaped all the way down the stairs and just passed out at the bottom. Whoop. I don't know how many people I'll get to come in here and talk with me. I may get zero, but I'm gonna stream for a few minutes at the very least. See if anybody wants to join and talk. Maybe like and subscribe. That would be awesome too. So, where all my insomniacs at? I know there's some out there. Let me know. Well, it looks like we got somebody in here right now. Hello, how are you doing? I am chilling in my bedroom watching ridiculousness on Netflix. Just wanted to see if anybody wanted to come in and talk. I appreciate you stopping by, even if you don't. I wish I could figure out. I wanted to do like a poll on here for people to answer. I have no clue how in the world to do that. I just started doing this stuff. Oh, wow. We just popped up a lot. Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing tonight? I don't want to mess with it too much. I'll end up accidentally ending the stream like I did earlier today when I was streaming. If anybody knows how to put a poll up uh, in the chat, please tell me. Help me out. Don't do no Alt F4 bullshit to me, though. How is everybody doing tonight? Did everybody have a blessed day? My day was pretty good. Went on a date with my wife to the Mexican restaurant. Me and her and our youngest child, our daughter. That was pretty fun. I got me some shrimp fajitas and a big old beer. Big old beer. You gotta have the beer when you go to Mexican. Everybody in here, like y'all like watching ridiculousness on Netflix? I love ridiculousness. I liked it when it used to come on TV. I don't even know if it still does, really. I watch everything mostly on YouTube nowadays or Netflix. Everybody's in here. Nobody's talking. Hi. I am on the road to 500 subscribers. So if you don't mind, if you're in here, hit that like button for me and subscribe if you want to. You don't have to, obviously. It's not a requirement. I'm a indie children's horror author. Write a series called Tales from the Mind of BF Shivers. Available on Amazon and some books available on Walmart.com. Hey, what's up, Mark? Thanks for coming in, man. How are you tonight? Hey, there's a thing that just popped up down here. It says playables. Does not say anything about a poll, though. That's good. That's good to hear. I'm doing good as well. You guys like my background? That's my wife's. She hung it on our wall. She liked it. She loves nature and being outside, things like that. That's not my big thing. As you can probably tell, I'm a big guy. I like video games and things like that. It's pretty, though. Can't tell you the amount of times I've accidentally pulled it down, though, because our bed's against this wall. And so I've rolled over and pulled it down. She gets all mad at me. But, you know, thanks for that like. Thank you so much. How is everybody doing tonight? What's up, Mecha Brawl Stars? Thank you for coming in. I'm not sure what you mean by them. Whoops. I hope my TV's not too loud in the background. If it is, y'all let me know. I'll turn it down. Just chilling. What's up, Matt? Thanks for coming in, man. How are you tonight? Hope everybody had a wonderful, blessed day. We're just sitting in here chilling, trying to get some conversations going in the chat. See what everybody's kind of doing. That girl twerking while she's puking in the toilet. Weirdo. Again, I say if anybody that's in here at this particular moment knows how to put a poll in the chat or on screen, please help me through that. Because I have no clue how to do it. I push this little button down here and pulls up like games and stuff, playables. But I tried to do that earlier today and I accidentally ended my stream, so I don't know. You guys like scary movies? What's y'all's favorite scary movie? Anybody that's in here right now? Oh, looks like we lost everybody. Well, if you come back in, except one person, whoever you are for hanging out, thank you. Thank you for continuing to hang out. Whoever's in here, if you like scary movies, let me know. Let me know what your favorite one is. Let's talk about it. If you don't like scary movies, you like comedy, whatever you like, let's talk about it. Ha! Boy, I don't know how these streamers that do this every single day, I don't know how in the world they keep people engaged unless they just sit here and talk to themselves the whole time because a lot of people don't talk. What's up, PJMB Products? You went to a basketball game last weekend. It was tied, and at the buzzer, next thing you know, my chili dog went through the back leg and out the barn door. That's pretty funny. Gotta be careful with them chili dogs, man. They'll slip away on you. It's like that Taco Bell, man. You don't even buy Taco Bell. You rent that shit. As soon as you eat it, it comes right back out in that toilet. I don't even eat Taco Bell anymore. The one where I live at, man, they suck. I don't know if they got a bunch of young people working there that don't know how to work or don't care about their job or what it is, but our Taco Bell is horrid. Every time I eat there, my food's cold. It don't taste good. The lettuce tastes like chemicals. If you get on your taco, it's not great. Not a great time. Hell, Not a big ambassador for McDonald's either, but hell, unfortunately, McDonald's is about the best fast food we have in my town, believe it or not. And that's not saying a lot because our McDonald's sucks ass too. Add a Q&A sticker. Try it. Ah, there we go. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can get this set up here where y'all can y'all see that? Start Q&A. There we go. Now y'all should be able to answer that. Oh, I think I lost everybody again. Well, thank you for stopping by, everybody that left. It was good to have you for a couple minutes there. Oh, we got somebody back. Hello. I don't know if you were already here or if you knew, but hi. Thank you for stopping in, even if it's just for a second. What's your favorite scary movie? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Or scary book. Anything really. Oh, I scared them off. Oh, they're back. All right, YouTube, stop teasing me now. Are they here or are they not here? I don't understand. It's inconceivable. We got one. I know we got one, at least for now. But yeah, I don't know how people. I don't know how people sit here and talk to themselves. You know, people come in, they don't talk to you, man. You gotta just sit here and ramble and hope somebody will come in and start chatting. I guess that's how they do it. Hell, hey, look, we just went to the moon again. I'm on the moon. I'm touching it. I got it in my bedroom. What's up, Alina? Alina Homan. How are you tonight? How's your day been? Hope everything was good. Hope you had a blessed one. What's up, everybody? See, we got 4 people in here right now. What's your favorite scary movie? Let's talk about it. I am doing great. I had a date with my wife at the Mexican restaurant today. Well, me, her, and our daughter, our youngest child, and got me some shrimp fajitas and a big old beer. Came home and chilled out for a little while. So, doing all right. Gained about 5 subscribers earlier on a earlier stream. I still ain't got the orbital valve off yet. Had to take the entire damn engine basically out. Good Lord, man. That does not sound fun. You a better man than me. I don't know nothing about cars. I know how to put gas in them. I know how to drive them. That's about it. Yeah, it was amazing. I really enjoyed it. Me and my wife don't get to spend as much time together as I'd like to. We got 3 children. So, what time we do get together is usually when the 2 boys are at school. But we always have our daughter with us. She's only 3, so, and we can't afford daycare, so. But it's okay. We love it. We love it. We wouldn't have had them if we didn't want them. Is Mexican food the best bang for your buck or Chinese? Well, let me break it down for you. As a fat man, Chinese food is, you eat it and then 2 hours later you're starving again. And Mexican food, you don't buy it, you rent it. After you eat it, it comes right back out as soon as you're done eating it. So I guess Chinese food's the best bang for your buck, but you're going to be hungry again in a few hours. Sorry if my comments don't make sense. I'm still learning English. And oh, how cute. No, I'm reading them perfectly fine. No, no problem at all. I can read them at least. Where are you from, Elena? What is your hell, how do I say this? Your number one language, I guess is what I'm trying to say. What's your first language if it's not English? You're from Iran. Okay. What's up, Lotus? How are you doing tonight? From Iran. Wow, we got somebody from Iran in the chat. That's awesome. Good morning. Oh wow, well, you must be in a different time zone than me. It's only about 10:25 where I'm at. But good morning to you. I hope you have a blessed and wonderful day. That's really cool that we got Iran in the house. I didn't know that my reach went that far. I don't know. I'm assuming you probably live in USA. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. All right. You have a great night. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button for me. I'm on the road to 500. Sure would appreciate it. I gotta change my comment moderator because I don't know how in the world it keeps blocking stuff that people say that's like not even bad. You're from the Netherlands? That's awesome. Wow. On the other whole other side of the world from me. That's really cool. So it really is morning where you're at. Do you guys have? This is probably a stupid question. Y'all probably do. Do y'all have like dipping tobacco over there or like chewing tobacco? Because I know a guy that used to do uh dip videos here in America, and he would get stuff from like Sweden and stuff like that, and they had like way stronger tobacco products than America does. So I'm wondering how it is in the Netherlands. And if you don't know, that's fine too. I'm just asking. Oh, but you do think so? It seems like everything everywhere is stronger than in America. In Germany, they got beer that is so strong it'll knock you down with one beer. Everything in America is weakened. I think we must be babies. Smoking culture is big there. Now, when you say smoking, I'm assuming you mean tobacco, right? Because we got a big smoking culture in America too, but it ain't tobacco they're smoking. It's a bunch of other different things. We got a real drug pandemic in America. It's real bad. We got a lot of problems in America, but drug pandemic is definitely one of them. And it ain't getting no better. Oh, nah, you mean like green. Okay. Well, I don't classify marijuana as a drug per se. A lot of people get it for medicinal purposes and you know, things like that. My wife smokes. I don't anymore. I used to. I like to drink a beer every now and then. I dip my tobacco, but weed started making me feel funny. Everybody always says that's what it's supposed to do, but no, it started making my heart race, make me feel like I'm having a heart attack, made me paranoid. So I just got to where I wasn't enjoying it anymore. And then, um, let's see. Oh, I might have dip on my mouth. I used to smoke, and then I would come home and I would start playing with my kids and having a great time with them and see how happy they were. And then when I wasn't smoking, I would be mad and yelling and just aggravated at them. And I saw that one day. I was sitting on the couch, stoned out of my mind, and I said, I can't be like this. I'm a father. And I watched my dad struggle with addiction my whole life, and he wasn't the greatest father. And so I was like, I got to stop this crap. If I can't be happy with my kids without weed, then I don't need weed. My kids come first. Absolutely. It makes me paranoid as shit when I smoke. That's why I stopped. And my nephew moved in with us for a while, and that's all he wanted to do was smoke weed, smoke weed, smoke weed. And I was like, no, I can't, man. I can drink 2 or 3 beers and be completely, where I need to be and completely still in my head, know everything that's going on, not be out of my mind. I can control myself, and I know my limits with alcohol. Lord knows I learned them really quick, starting at a young age with alcohol. You'll learn real fast what your limit is. And if you don't, you'll end up dead. So I learned really fast. Thankfully, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a drug addict. So I think that's really good. I think I'm doing good in life. I don't have any problem with anybody that is. Like I've said many times on this channel, I know addiction is a monster and it's really hard to overcome. I watched my dad struggle with it his whole life. My sister struggled with it. I've struggled with it. I used to do pills in high school really bad. I didn't get out of bed in the morning to go to school without taking a handful of pills. But luckily, my wife got me on the straight and narrow. She told me she not gonna be with somebody that does stuff like that. So if you've been in my streams or whatever before, you probably heard the story 100 times. But I always give it to her. Well, in God, you got to give God the glory too, because He puts it in your heart and in your head to do things what you think is right. He gives you the option to make the choice. So, what time is it where you're at, Aaron? I feel horrible. I don't even know where you live anymore, man. If you're still in here, I miss your mom and your dad. You know that when I used to live with my mom and we would go see them, it was always a good time. Your dad always would make me laugh every time I went over there. You're in the same time zone as me? Okay, that's awesome. And your mom, I think that was my mom's best friend. I really do. I wonder if you remember this. I know you probably remember um when I was real little, your mama used to babysit me cuz y'all lived right down the road from us. And she would babysit me sometimes and I don't know if you remember this, but one time I was looking at your mom had like and dad had like a whole shelf full of like encyclopedias and there was this one time I asked them if I could look at them and I grabbed one off and I was looking at it and then it was time to go home and I swear I put it back on the shelf. To this day I swear I put it back on the shelf. Now whether or not I put it back in the right spot, I probably didn't cuz I was little, but that book somehow or another disappeared and your mama boy was mad about it. So mad about it. I think they came to our house and asked us where the book was. They thought I brought it home with me, which if I took it, I don't remember taking it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have put something like that past me when I was little, but I swear 33 years old and got my own kids. If I remembered taking it, I would definitely admit to it. I don't think they ever found it either, is the crazy part. I always just assumed I put it in the wrong spot and your mama didn't know I put it in the wrong spot. So she didn't think to look for that. And that's why she couldn't find it. Who knows? I remember I used to go in your bedroom when you were there. Y'all used to have Cookie, and You used to grab them milk bones and you'd say one for Cookie and one for me, and you'd eat them. And I think you gave me one time, and I liked it. And I swear, I was talking about this the other night when you were in there. My wife would not let us buy milk bones for our dog because she was afraid I would eat them. Every time I talked about getting milk bones for our dog, no, you'll eat them. You're not going to have them. Do you remember that? Oh, Cookie. It was something else. I can't remember. Was Cookie a boy or a girl? I remember it was a little white dog, wasn't it? I was so little. I did used to get into all kinds of shenanigans, though. I remember one time y'all had like a mirror or something propped up against the back of y'all's house that y'all lived in at that time that was down the road from ours. And I went outside and was playing, and I kicked it or broke it and broke the glass everywhere, and I didn't tell nobody. And they found it, and I got in trouble for that because I wasn't supposed to be doing that. It was a Cocker Spaniel. You know, that house that your mom and dad used to live in, not the last one, but the one before that was like basically right across the street. The restaurant slash bar that was next to that house just burned down completely recently. Just burned down completely. I mean, nothing but rubble. She used to babysit me in that house too, and that's back when I was scared of my own shadow. She used to watch Days of Our Lives all the time. And she was watching it one day, and they had blood come out of a wedding cake. And it scared the crap out of me. Something as simple as blood coming out of a wedding cake. And yeah, I do remember the demon in that house. Somebody like killed themselves. Excuse me, I ain't allowed to say that on YouTube. Scratch that, YouTube. Unalived themselves in that house, if I remember correctly, right? And I remember you talking about seeing a woman or something upstairs. Your dad said that there was like a face in the floor. There was all kinds of crazy crap that went on in that house, if I remember correctly. I love the fact that we get to catch up through the internet like this, because I'd like to see you, man. Next time you come into town, hit me up somehow. I'd like to see you. It's been forever. I know it has. I tell you what, when I started first dating my wife, after I got kicked out of my mom's house, I moved into the house with them. They lived on Boyette Avenue, which was over next to the old Century 21 building, pretty much right behind where Casey lives. And they had a big 2-story house, and there was some crazy stuff that went on in that house. Me and Kristen were laying in the bed one night, and we were dog sitting for her brother. We had her brother's dog Bowser in our bedroom with us, watching him. And Bowser was like standing up in the middle of the night growling, and his hair was raised on his back, and we couldn't figure out what was going on with him. And I was like, Bowser, shut up. We're trying to go to sleep. He just kept on, he kept on. And I was like, Bowser, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, dog. Shut up. And he wouldn't stop. And I swear I was laying right next to the closet door. Our bed was laying next to the closet door. And you know how something is so black you can see it in the darkness, even though you're in the dark, you can still see whatever this thing is. Something went past the side of our bed from out of our closet that was human sized, like human height, and went past me, and the dog ran after it. Like the dog saw it. And it scared the crap out of me so bad. I did a flip over Kristen in the bed and landed on the floor next to our bedroom door and ran out. It scared me half to death. And then, like, you could hear a little girl singing in that house. And then they always talked about this man that was a ghost that lived in that house. They would hear him stomping up and down the stairs. I never heard him, but yeah, there was some creepy stuff that went on in that house too. Lewisburg's full of ghosts, man. I'm telling you. I wrote a story about Beth Buri Church. It's got some good haunted history around here. We got the Chapel Hill Lights. We got Beth Buri. We got the Petersburg Cemetery. We got Adams, Tennessee with the Bell Witch. I don't let things like that scare me anymore. I feel like if you give things power, then obviously it can affect you. But even though as much as like as I love horror and stuff like that, I don't try to give things like that power. Let go and let God. You know what I mean? I never did make peanut butter balls. I know your mama used to make them all the time too. I don't do a lot of baking. I do a lot of like regular cooking, like regular food. Not a lot of bacon. I've made sausage balls. I like sausage balls. I know your mom used to make little candy cane cookies and little Hershey's, little cookies with little Hershey's on top of them. Every Christmas, she would bake, and she would always give us a big platter full of them. Mama would give everybody like a stocking full of candy. Yeah, Lawler's is still good. We get me and Kristen go there and get a baked potato with some. I get chicken on mine. I think she does too. We get chicken on ours. It's really good. Big old potatoes. I'm sure you remember. But hell, we got so many Mexican restaurants in Lewisburg now. It's a little ridiculous. I don't know why we need. We got a Mexican restaurant on every corner. Nothing against them. I like Mexican just as much as the next person. But good lord, it's like every other week we got a Mexican restaurant opening up. We got one next to Sonic. We got one next to Walmart. We got one on the square. We got one a little bit down the road from the square. You name it, we've got a Mexican restaurant there. There's one over by Dollar General and IGA. Oh, really? I used to work third shift at Walker. I worked on third shift for about a year and a half, something like that. It might have been closer to 2 years because in all, I think I worked at Walker Diecasting for 3 years. And I know I was on first shift for a whole year, so I guess I was closer to two on thirds. That's a hard shift, man. And I don't think you ever fully get out of that schedule because I haven't worked third shift in at least 3 years. The last job I worked third shift was at Christian Brands, and I still can't go to sleep at night, man. It's hard. I've got like insomnia. I can sleep all day long during the day, no problem. But when it comes to going to bed at night, I'll lay in the bed, watch TV. I can't get comfortable. I'll get up and go get on my computer. I'll go play my PlayStation. And now my wife's starting to make me take our 3 year old Mia and put her in her own bed at night because she says she's getting too old to be sleeping in our bed, which is true. Because when Kristen's off, we're having to fight with her to get room in the bed. But she's my little teddy bear every night, you know what I mean? So it's hard to break that habit. You get used to sleeping with somebody, and Kristen's not here at night, so because she does work third shift still, she's the assistant manager at the Quick Mart on third shift. She's the only person on third shift that's in charge. Hey man, I don't know how I made it that long. You did 6 months. Hell, I don't know how I made it as long as I did. I missed 2 or 3 days sometimes every other week. I swear, I would call out of work and say I was sick, just so me and my friend could play Call of Duty at night because I didn't want to go. That place sucked. It was hot in there every night. I'd get 10 or 11 burns on my body from them hot parts. The gloves never fit right. I busted my finger completely in half when I worked there with a hammer by accident. The earplugs always had you where you couldn't hear because you're just pushing earwax into your ear so far, and it just sucked. That's one of the most depressing jobs that strained my mind to or stained my mind to appreciate others. Hey, it's not an easy job. It really isn't. My stepdad somehow made it there almost 30 years, so he's an even better man than me. I don't know how in the world he did that. The best job that I've had that I actually really enjoyed was I worked at what was the place called? I forget what that. It was in the old Sanford building. If you remember where that was, I'm sure you do. Um, they had like a beanbag factory where they made like bean bags and like gaming chairs and stuff like that. And I worked there as a temp and not ICP, not uh shit. You remember where Crystals used to be? It's down that road right next to Crystals. There's a factory on that road. And they made bean bags and stuff. Kristen got a job there first, and then I started working there as a temp, I think, shortly after. And I ended up getting a tow motors license there and driving a tow motor and everything. And I really liked that job. And then they never hired me in. And then one day they just let me go. And I was devastated because I actually liked that job. I've tried to go back 4 or 5 times, and the lady told me that the boss that I had at the time put me on the no rehire list, and I don't know why, because I didn't do anything but work my ass off. And that I usually would like, you probably think, well, he's probably lying about that. No, I seriously worked my ass off at that job. Hot, cold, I was there every day. I worked from the time I came in till the time I left. Sometimes we were there later because we would get so many beanbag orders that you couldn't fill them all in the amount of time with breaks and stuff. And we would have to load them onto the trucks, the big trailer trucks for the 18 wheelers. And it was really hard. And I worked my ass off, but for whatever reason, the guy put me back on the no rehire list. I don't think he liked me because I was real vocal and I always voiced my opinion about things. A lot of people don't like that. I don't make a living biting my tongue. If I don't like something, I'm gonna tell you. If you don't like it, then you can kiss my ass and go on. That's the way I feel about it. Opinions are like assholes. Literally, everybody has one. Some of them just stink worse than others. But I'm always going to tell you mine. It's just who I am. But a lot of people don't like that. It doesn't matter how hard you work in this life. When you work for others, is a big thing as to who you know and your bloodline. I agree with that because you can go a long way just depending on who you know. There was a lot of people at Walker that moved up real fast, and is come to find out it's because they knew people that worked there, or they were part of the same bloodline as you said. But people who work out there, work in that hot environment. I mean, when it's 100 outside, it's 130 inside easily at that place. And they work in there and they sweat their balls off every day. They bleed for that company. Like I said, I busted my finger in half with a hammer when I worked there. Literally blood, sweat, and tears went into that company, and I never got more than like a 40-cent raise the whole time I worked there. It just wasn't worth it. You're killing yourself. No telling what kind of chemicals you're putting into your body, smelling, inhaling from all those machines and stuff. And they allowed you to smoke cigarettes and stuff, so you're inhaling all that shit as well. All the supervisors sit in the office and don't do shit all night, but the minute your machine goes down or something, they're all over your ass. Grab a broom, grab a broom. You know what I used to do? I used to go sit on the toilet and play on my phone. That's exactly what I would do. One night I went into work after not sleeping at all that day because me and Kristen had something we had to do that was very important, and it ended up taking the entire day, and I didn't get to go to sleep. I think I finally laid down like an hour before time I was supposed to go to work. And so I just didn't sleep. And I went in and I was very tired. And the job that I was working at the time was real boring. I was just spraying like impregnation fluid out of parts with an air hose. And so you're standing there blowing air hose at a part all night over and over again. You're going to get bored and you're going to get tired if you're already tired. And I went to the bathroom and sat there for a minute, and I fell asleep on the toilet and did not know that I fell asleep. And I woke up to the supervisor beating on the stall door, scared the damn shit out of me. I jumped up off that toilet like somebody was shooting at me. And I had been in that bathroom asleep for 2 hours and didn't even know it. And they called me to the office, and they suspended me for 2 weeks without pay for that because I fell asleep. And I tried to explain to them that I didn't get any sleep the day before. They're lucky that I actually came in. But I was trying to be a good person and come to work anyway. But they didn't care. They really didn't. They hated me. After that, after I came back from my suspension, they stuck me up in A section completely by myself where they didn't run any machines. They gave me a basket full of these little bitty parts that they called I forget what they were called, but I had to take a little round file and file the inside of these parts all night, and it was like thousands of them in a basket. And they would take a tow motor and drop off the basket and have me stand there and pull them out one by one and file them and throw them in another basket. And that's what I did for months because they hated me so bad. They would stick me in one corner of the factory by myself. Couldn't talk to anybody. Didn't get to work with anybody. Every time they put somebody down there to help me, they'd come within 10 minutes and take them and put them somewhere else. So they hated me there. I remember the day that my mom died. She dropped me off for work that morning, and I don't know. I'd been at work maybe 2 hours. I wasn't there for long at all, and I think it was my supervisor came and got me and said somebody was trying to call me. I think it's your sister, and I called her back on the phone in the office, and she said that Mama was being rushed to the hospital. That they they were trying to resuscitate her or whatever, and I looked at him and said, "Hey, I got to go. Something's going on with my mom." And he was like, "You can't leave." And I said, "F you, I'm going. Something's wrong with my mom." And I clocked out and started walking because I didn't have a ride. So, yeah, they're bad there. That's a bad thing about that town. Either factory work, which is depressing, or construction work with all the druggies. Yeah, it's nothing good here. It really isn't. Or fast food, and you don't get nowhere in life doing that. Now we're barely making it. We live paycheck to paycheck. We had to go today and take out more money on our title loan that we've been paying. We almost had it paid off, but we had to go today and get more money off of it. But you do what you can do to get by. I mean, that's all you can do. And we're not in a predicament right now where I can get a job because we can't afford, even with if I get a job, we can't afford daycare and stuff for Mia. Then our rent wants to skyrocket. They want to charge $1,400 a month for these apartments that we live in, and we live in the hood. If you make a certain amount, they want to charge you $1,400 a month. Our rent last year was $499 a month, and they went up to $550. We were barely paying $499 a month on top of all the other bills, and then they went up to $550. So we're struggling every month to get it paid on time. They always put a letter in our mailbox saying, "Hey, you got till this time to pay it." Well, I mean, I'm like, damn, you trying to squeeze blood out of a turnip. You know what I mean? We're trying to make do. We got 5 people in this house to feed. We got gas for our vehicles. We got lights and water, internet. If you don't think internet's a necessity in 2026, you're crazy. I've heard of a lot of people doing that, getting an RV and living like that. They say it's cheaper. I know Kristen's aunt did it a few years ago. That her and her husband they bought an RV and they started living like that. And then about a year later, their her husband's son I think bought them a house because he's like a lawyer and he makes a ton of money. He bought them a house. So last I knew, they lived in it. They don't even talk to us anymore. They got mad at me because a whole situation. Without saying too much, I was unfaithful one time in mine and Kristen's relationship. Not proud about that, but it happened. And it just so happened to be with their daughter. And they found out about it years later and made a big deal about it. But I mean, by the way, yes, Kristen does know about it. It was a whole situation we worked through. That's why our relationship's so strong. We've been through so much together. Some of it we're not proud of, other things that just made us stronger. I mean, I guess all of it makes you stronger. Sometimes you gotta bump your head to see the light, or something like that. My mom used to say, sometimes you have to bump your head and to know what's good for you. You realize the grass ain't greener on the other side. It's the same damn grass that it was on the other side. That's the only way to explain it. Stupid young 21 years old makes stupid ass decisions. Me and her had been together since we were 17. She got pregnant with our first son. Opportunity presented itself. I didn't turn it down. And, you know, just like I said, stupid ass decisions that I didn't know how to say no to or didn't want to at the time. Almost killed us, but we're hanging in there. Have you ever had to deal with anything like that? Any unfaithfulness on either side of any relationships you've been in? How did you deal with it, if you did? And yeah, daycare is way too expensive. Way too expensive. And if you miss a payment, they will let you know. I'm almost wondering if, like, when it shows that there's more than one person in here, if it's like people just scrolling through and it counts it as a view when they scroll past you or what. Because I see it jump up to two, sometimes three or four. They never stay, they never talk to you. That's what I was saying earlier. I think before you got in here, I was like, I don't know how people do this. Do they just sit here and talk to themselves and hope that people come in and start start talking back with them? I don't know. I don't know if streaming like this is the thing for me, but I did it earlier today and I gained 5 subscribers off of it, which I haven't moved subscribers in a couple weeks, so 5 was big for me. What's up? I see we got another person. How you doing? Oh, and they're gone. See what I'm saying? You're doing good. Almost 500 subs. It takes people a long time to get to that. You did it fast. I agree. I did do it way faster than I thought I ever would. I've had 4 or 5 different YouTube channels. I've tried streaming on Twitch. I just found one thing that I'm actually passionate about now, and that's Chat GPT. I ask it questions all the time to try to help me with streams and video ideas and things like that, which it's a great tool to use. Um, but it tells me all the time that I may be confusing YouTube's algorithm because I do gaming live streams and then I'll do like poems and then I'll do scary content. And I'm like, well, you know what? That's why I made that whole video. I was like, you know what? Screw the algorithm. This is my channel. I'm going to gain subs by being who I am. And I'm not going to change it for the algorithm and I'm not going to change it for the people that come in here. They like me for who I am or they don't have to stay. That's just simple. That's how it is. I want to gain subs for being myself. I don't want to get on here and be somebody that's fake. I don't want to get on here and be one of those live streams where they have the alligator with the teeth thing where you push it down and it's got thumbtacks on it and they're going, "Oh, just 5 more subscribers. Just 5 more subscribers and I'm going to push it. Just 5 more. But before we do that, hit that like button. Hit that like button and I'm going to push it. Oh, I'm so scared. And they never push the button. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do that fake shit. I was in there scrolling through the live streams the other night on YouTube because I couldn't sleep, and so there was these 2 guys putting rubber bands on a watermelon, and I watched it for a good 30 minutes, and that damn watermelon never exploded. They were cutting the rubber bands. so that the watermelon wouldn't explode, so they could just keep getting people coming in there, just clickbaiting them. You know what I mean? And they get thousands and thousands of views and likes, and I'm like, people like me who are sitting here actually trying to push out real content and put their heart into it and their mind and soul into it. We struggle, but everybody else, they just. I used to think YouTube was another thing, like the moving up in the factories, like you were talking about. You had to know somebody on YouTube, or you had to be somebody already before you started it. I agree. I gotta attract them and get them to stay, not just be attracted and then leave. The problem is though, like, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I see people on these streams like this, and none of them ever have like a lot of viewers at once. Maybe I think I see some people like with like 20 sometimes, but they all just sit here and chat. I know if I was a female, all I'd have to do was jiggle. I tell my wife that all the time. I'm like, hey, if you ever don't want to work and you got a sure way to make money, and she's like, how? I'm like, you're a female. Turn on a camera, sit in front of a computer and live stream. Play a video game. It don't matter what you do, you're a female. You'll get a bunch of followers fast. Only because you're a female. I've even you're gonna laugh at this. I thought about selling feet pics. I ain't gonna lie. You'd be lying if you ain't thought about it. Everybody's thought about it at least once. Everybody has. See, I'm gonna take that as you've thought about it. I don't want to walk in peanut butter and stuff though. That's the I don't want to make an only feed account. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I'm out of touch with all these younger kids nowadays. God, I sound old saying that. I'm 33 though. I got to accept it one day that I'm getting on up there in age. I ain't no teenager no more. Even though in my head I still am. Hell, in my head I'm 12 years old. Does that ever go away, by the way? They always say you're as young as you feel. Well, I don't feel my age in my brain, but I feel it in my body. Definitely feel it in my body. 3.5 years at Walker, though, do that to you. That and copious amounts of stupid shit that we did when we were younger. Taking a back bump in a wrestling ring the first time, I thought, golly, it's all downhill in the 40s, huh? Shit, and I thought that was the 30s. Good Lord. Man, it's surreal to me sometimes just sit and think about it. Like, I remember things from when I was like 16, 17 years old, and it literally feels like it was yesterday. And it makes me want to get emotional. I don't want to sit here and cry. Hell, I feel like time already goes by fast, and I'm 33. My oldest son, he's fixing to turn 12 in August. Man, my mama used to sit there and cry her eyes out. She would talk about when I would get old enough to leave her, and I would always tell her that I wasn't going to leave her, that I was going to stay with her forever, which, that ain't true. I thought it was true at the time, but then you get older and you realize, you know, at some point you got to find somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with, which was Kristen. I found her. And then you want to be around them more than you want to be at home with your mom. And then things start getting rough, and you have to accept that you're not going to be there with your mom and your dad or whatever all for the rest of your life. But she would sit there and cry her eyes out and tell me that she dreaded that day, and I never thought that day was going to come. And now I'm doing the same thing. Every time I think about my kids growing up and leaving, I tear up. I'm doing it right now. It's like, where does time go? Just yesterday, I was holding him in my arms. You know what I mean? Now he's so big, I can't even pick him up. Sorry, I don't mean to get emotional, but you just got to hope that you do a good enough job as a father and a mother to keep them coming back to you when they finally get that age and they leave, you know? You're right. All three of them, they'll always be my babies. I grabbed his hand today in the car. I picked him up from school, and I was taking him to the Dollar General to get him a drink, to get Kathan a Ghost Energy drink, because we got a phone call from school today saying that he was real tired and he was falling asleep at school a lot, and that they had to send him to the office to finish a test because he couldn't stay awake. He didn't want to stay awake. And so I thought, well, if I take him and I get him a Ghost Energy drink, it might give him enough caffeine to be at least awake enough to come home and do his chores without me having to worry about him being too tired. And so we were driving to Dollar General, and I grabbed his hand, and I turned my music down because I always have my music blaring in my car every day when I drive. I grabbed his hand and I told him I love him, and he said I love you too, and tears came in his eyes, and I didn't know how to take that. It made me think maybe that I was doing something wrong as a father, but I think it's just that he hasn't been getting a lot of attention here lately because he's got his younger brother who's got autism and ADHD, so he demands attention. And then you got Mia, who's 3, who is a big daddy's girl and wants to be in my lap or all over me all the time. And so I think he just doesn't get as much attention anymore as he used to get. And it made me feel real bad today that that happened. I said, what am I doing wrong that when I grab my son's hand and I tell him I love him, that tears come in his eyes, you know? So that was a real wake up call for me today. They live in your mind that way no matter how old they get. Those memories are what make you strive to see time as real currency and not dollars. I think he cried when you said that because you're his hero. You're his super daddy. I appreciate that. It's all I can ever hope to be to him. Did not know I was going to get emotional on here tonight. But it's okay. You got to let it out. Even men cry. The best men cry. We went on vacation one time. I don't know. I was probably 4 or 5 years old. Old enough to remember, even as though I was young when it happened. But I don't remember to where or anything like that. I just know that we went on vacation, me and Mama and Tracy and Casey, and I was in the swimming pool. We at the hotel that we were staying in. Casey and Tracy didn't know how to swim either, but they were old enough and big enough they could hold on to the side of the pool and scurry around with their hands to get to the deep end and get back to the shallow end. And I was jumping around on the shallow end on the stairs that led down into the pool. and I slipped and fell and went under and couldn't figure out how to get back up, and I was drowning. I couldn't breathe. I was drowning. My dad jumped in with a cigarette in his mouth and pulled me out of the water and came back up with me in his hands and cigarette still in his mouth, not lit obviously, because it got wet, but threw me to my mom up on the side of the pool, and then ended up, getting the water out of my lungs and everything, and saving my life. And I remember laying in the bed with him and my mom in the hotel room that night, and I looked at him and told him that he was my hero. And I never forgot that, and he never forgot that. Even like all the pain and heartache and things that I went through with my dad, with his addiction and everything that went wrong in our relationship and him and my mom's and his life in general, he never forgot that. He would, if he was still alive sitting here today, he would tell me about it. You know what I mean? He would tell me about the day that I called him my hero. So that's all I could ever hope to be. Nothing wrong with it. The fact that you think about it is proof that you care. He's got a good daddy. I try to be. You don't know how hard it is when you're a kid for your parents. You never do. You don't know the struggle and the heartache that they go through every single day, basically to keep you alive. You don't know what they're going through because they try not to show you. Uh, you don't realize it until you're old and you got kids yourself, and it's too late to tell them that you realized it. Yeah, I can't tell my mom thank you for everything she ever done for me. You know, then that sucks. You just gotta hope that wherever they're at, that they see that you realize now, because you can't tell them. You get past a certain point in life and you can't tell them, but you know everything they went through because you deal with it now yourself. God, I'm crying like a baby. I can't even help it. I'm sorry. The same feeling you have for your daddy, your boy looks at you the same way. You carry that same aura that your daddy did. Appreciate that. Your mama hears you. I know. I just wish I could tell her to her face. You know what I mean? Give her a hug and a kiss and tell her I love her and tell her thank you. So many times, your mom, my mom specifically, we'd go out to eat or something like that, and I would eat all my food in 10 seconds and be hungry still. And mama'd have half a cheeseburger left and say, "Oh, I'm not hungry anymore. You can have it." Didn't know how many nights she went to bed still hungry because she wanted to make sure that I had enough food. But I understand now because I do the same thing for my daughter or my son. If it doesn't matter if I'm hungry, if they want it, they can have it. You know what I mean? We made two pizzas today for supper in the oven, and I had like a couple pieces of shrimp, like two or three pieces of shrimp and some vegetables from my fajitas from lunch today left in the fridge. And I told him to save me a piece of pizza, but I could tell that he was still hungry, so I told him to go ahead and eat it. And I went in there after I got done streaming and uh heated up my shrimp and ate those three pieces and realized, oh man, I really would have liked to have that pizza, but I didn't complain. I made me a pack of ramen noodles and a handful of French fries in the air fryer, and I ate them, and I just went on about my business. I ate something. It didn't have to be pizza. I know she was a wonderful person. She was a very sweet soul. She really was. She had her problems. I especially think there towards the end of her life, like the last 5 or 6 years at the very least, she was a real miserable person. She really was. And that's not me talking bad about her. It's just she was miserable. I don't know if she was miserable with life. She was miserable with the way she felt, even though she didn't tell people that she felt bad all the time. I don't know what it was, but she was a real miserable person. And sometimes that made her make other people's lives miserable when they were around her. But I still loved her. I loved being around her. My wife loved her. I mean, their relationship didn't start off good together. My wife didn't like my mom when she first met her, but by the time my mom died, they were best friends, and I couldn't have asked for anything more. That could have been it too. She may have been miserable because her babies were grown up, and this is the first time in years that she had to face life without her kids. So yeah, it could have been making her miserable. And I think also she just didn't feel good as well. They said that whenever they did an autopsy on her, they said she had like stage 4 breast cancer. So I'm sure that bothered her. She didn't even know she had it, but I'm sure she hurt or something. I don't know what cancer does exactly, but I'm sure there's some side effects that you can feel from it. Um, and she had diabetes, she had high blood pressure, so she may have just, I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of reasons that she was miserable. But yeah, that could have been a big contribution, excuse me, too. Um just that she missed us. It's That's what I was talking about earlier. I'm going to miss it having the house full. I complain about them being too loud and screaming and throwing stuff and tearing my house apart and dirtying it up all day. But I'm going to miss it when it's gone. I'm going to wake up to a clean house with no sounds in it and wish that it was still there. You know. Thankfully, I've still got a few years left with all three of my kids. So before that happens, and then they got to get established in their own life before they actually leave. But I know it'll come eventually. There's a song, I don't know if you've ever heard it, but Post Malone sings it. It's about his daughter. Uh, what's the name of it? Um, Shit, I can't think of the name of it. Anyways, it's talking about his little girl and how one day he's going to walk her down the aisle and give her away to a man. And he talks about all the firsts that he had with her and how he saw her walk first and how he heard her first words and how she runs to him, but one day she's going to run to that other man instead of her dad. And the first time I heard that song, I bawled my eyes out. The one thing my dad taught me is unless you know you got it made, then you really don't have it made. If you understand how special the time is when you have your little ones, you actually enjoy it more. Yeah, I agree. Because I try to cherish every little moment I have with them. And I'm very lenient. I'm a lot more lenient with them than I should be, but I can't help it. I see their little faces when I make them upset, and I can't live with myself. I can't. I just They mean the world to me. Me and Kristen tell each other all the time, we love each other to the moon and back, but when it comes to choosing our kids or each other, we're always going to choose our kids. And I wouldn't have it any other way. That means to me that she's a great mom, and I guess that means I'm a good dad. I don't like to talk about whether I'm a good dad or not cuz sometimes I don't feel like I am. But and I also don't want to try to toot my own horn. I always say that I'm doing the best that I can with what I have, and I appreciate you saying that. I try. I really try. I got to be the best part of me for my kids. Sometimes I don't always have that in me. Sometimes I don't have the patience that I should. Sometimes I don't know how to talk to them the right way. I yell and scream at them sometimes when they irritate me. Sometimes I cuss at them. I'm not going to lie. I've cussed at them more than I care to admit. Uh, but I always end up apologizing. And I don't know if that's good or bad. I feel almost like it shouldn't have happened, so I shouldn't have to be apologizing. But I'm only human, so maybe that makes up for it. I feel like I'm doing a lot better than some people. I'll give myself that. Some people don't even want their kids, and I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine. Hell, I had them. I got to take care of them. Got to show them love. That's my responsibility now. Exactly. The best thing is that I'm there. I told my son earlier today that because he said one of the reasons why he started crying in the car was because he thought about that, one day I might not be here. And I said, well, look, son, when God takes me out of this world, I don't know. I don't know when that's going to happen. Hopefully it's, not soon. Hopefully I have many, many more years with y'all. But when God decides to take me out of this world, I can't change his mind. So all I can do is make the best of it while I'm here. And I told him, I said, you won't have me when God takes me other than in your mind and your heart and your spirit, but you'll always have me while I'm here. I promise you that. That's what I told him. I said, I can promise you that while I'm on earth, you'll always have me. I can't promise you that God won't take me tomorrow, but I'll always be here for you while God allows me to be here. Because who knows what tomorrow brings. So he smiled. It made his day, I think. But I apologize for getting all emotional on here tonight. But sometimes you need that. Sometimes you don't even know you need it. It just when it comes out and you feel better afterwards. I feel a lot better. And even though you're the only person in here chatting with me about it, I appreciate it. It's kind of like therapy in a way. It's real good. It makes me feel good. Somebody cares, you know. Uh, I'm blubbering like a whale over here. Is that the saying? Probably not. You know what I'm trying to say. This lady on the TV has a damn toilet seat around her head right now, spinning it. I don't know why I act surprised a few years ago kids were eating Tide Pods, so I don't have a lot of faith in society anymore. Are you still working on that car or tractor? You said it was a tractor, what didn't you? I said car. I think you said it was a tractor. You're working till late if you are. The only thing, yeah, it's an old tractor. I stopped at 7. Oh, okay, okay. Do you live on a farm? Because that's really cool if you do. Only thing I've ever done with a car, is other than I said like earlier, putting gas in it and driving it, is me and my brother-in-law Dennis. Of course, I know you know him. Me and him put a EKG valve. I think is what it's called. I could be wrong because I don't know car stuff, but I think something. We put something on together. He helped. I helped him do it really because he knew what he was doing and I didn't. But I helped him do that. Other than that, I've never really done anything. You have to get it running. You better than me if you even know what you're doing, because I don't even know how to do nothing on my phone and stuff anymore. I've done gotten to that age where technology's done outgrown me. And I thought I was pretty tech savvy. Hell, when I was younger, I used to take stuff apart, like video stuff, like VCRs, video games, things like that. I could take them, pull them apart, and put them back together. Now I couldn't. I can't even figure out how to take them apart now. I tried to take one of my PlayStation controllers apart last year because it somebody spilled tea in it and all the buttons got sticky. And I was gonna try to take it out and clean the inside of it. Hell, I had to watch a YouTube video to even figure out how to get the damn thing apart, and I still didn't know what I was doing. And I ended up having to pay $70 to get a new controller because I broke it trying to fix it. I don't know shit about it. Chat GPT is a moron with lots of things, but only help I got really is just to hit the thing with a hammer till it starts. Hey, I sometimes that works. When me and Kristen first got together, she had an Xbox 360 and the disc tray wouldn't open on it. So you couldn't put discs in it. And when I moved in with them, I thought, well, hell, I want to play Call of Duty. And I couldn't get the disc tray to open, so I started beating the shit out of the top of the Xbox, and the damn disc tray popped open. So I realized every time I needed to open it, I just needed to hit the top of it, and it would open right up, and I could put my disc in there and it'd play. But I don't know why it helped, but it helped. So I hear you 100%. Beat it with a hammer until it starts. I agree. It don't work with everything though. I had a TV a couple years ago that went out on me in my living room, big old TV. One night I was sitting there watching it and the screen went black and it wouldn't come back on. I tried restarting it, unplugging it. I tried everything. It had sound, but it didn't have picture. And it didn't have a picture tube in it because, TVs don't have picture tubes anymore. They have LED lights or whatever. And hell, I put my fist through that some bitch and it never worked again. So it don't help with everything. Oh, I'm crazy. I'm not lying though. I really did. I got mad and put my fist through the screen of that TV. Kristen said, "Well, did you think that was gonna fix it?" I said, "No." Well, I gotta go. You lay your head down tonight, knowing you're doing a good job. You're not just one, but they're little ones here, three little ones hero. You know how. Thank you. I appreciate that. Successful you are. The seeds sprouting very good. Thank you so much. And hey, thank you for coming in here and chatting with me. I always enjoy having you. I hope you know that. You're a blessing to me. You always have been. Every time I stream or do anything, you come in and support me. W for that. And I love you. And you have a good night. All right. Thanks again for coming in. I may end the stream pretty soon here, anyways. I just wanted to see if I could get some conversations going with people. But yeah, you have a great night. Thank you again. Get you some rest so you can fix that tractor. We'll talk to you tomorrow if I stream and you get to come on. Whew. Alrighty. Well, we've had ourselves a good cry. Didn't expect that, but sometimes you need it. It made me feel better. I'll say that. We've had some good conversation. Few people. We had somebody in here from the Netherlands. We had somebody in here from Iran, assuming they were telling the truth. Um, but all in all, I think it was a good short little stream for tonight. So if you hop in here while I'm doing my outro, I apologize because I am fixing to end the stream. But I do appreciate every single person that came in here, chatted with me, said what's up, even if that's all you did. Anybody who smashed that subscribe button, I don't know if anybody did yet. I haven't got to check, but if you did, I appreciate you. We got 2 likes on the stream. I appreciate both of those. And Hand of Seeds, I very, very much appreciate you. Thank you so much for the little therapy sesh. So y'all have a great night. I hope everybody has a blessed day tomorrow. And we will see y'all in the next one. Peace.